The not-so-secret secrets to developing strategically focused creative work, explained in about 5 minutes. Want to learn a simple approach to producing smart, strategically focused creative communications that you can take to the marketplace, or to your client, boss, or colleagues with confidence? Plan B has developed and refined a simple framework to do just that. It's not some secret proprietary system or a patented process. On the contrary, it's comprised of well-known and long-accepted constructs and concepts rooted in psychology that are widely available to anyone. We just put them together, codified them, and put them to work. It revolves around 3 simple principles: know yourself, know your customer, and craft your communications accordingly. Let's start with knowing yourself. Before you can effectively communicate with a customer or prospect, you have to know who you are as a company or brand, what you do, how you do it, and why you exist in the first place. To uncover these, there is the familiar and simple golden circle, variations of which have been used for decades by brand managers seeking to differentiate themselves. The golden circle is predicated on the idea that people don't just buy what you do, or even how you do it. They buy why you do it. Take Apple, for example. People didn't start buying Apple products simply because the company made good computers. No, people bought them because they bought into Apple's why, to challenge the status quo and to think differently. Understanding your why is critical because the strongest customer connections are made when your why helps satisfy a core human desire, of which psychology tells us there are 4, and we all have them. They are: to connect with others, satisfied by brands like Pepsi, Wendy's, and Victoria's Secret; to create order, satisfied by brands like Microsoft, Pinterest, and Marriott; to change the world, satisfied by brands like Apple, Nike, and FedEx; and to find paradise, satisfied by brands like McDonald's, Starbucks, and PBS. These 4 core desires are embodied by 12 universally recognized personality types, elemental forms as Plato called them, or archetypes as psychiatrist Carl Jung called them. These universal archetypes are immediately identifiable because they exist within all of us. Whether we see ourselves within an archetype, or the archetype's story simply reassures us and makes us feel a sense of belonging, archetypes can play a significant role in helping us define who we are and what we value. Think of brand archetypes as mental shortcuts that help us quickly understand a company or brand and what it stands for based on character traits we're already familiar with. Apple established themselves as the outlaw, with their establishment-shattering drive to think different and change the world, connecting emotionally with millions of people drawn to the rebellious appeal of a brand hell-bent on defying the status quo. The brand archetype system makes it easy for customers to connect emotionally with your why, which is important because the emotional attitude someone has about your brand will drive their beliefs about your brand's benefits and risks. Now armed with your why and archetype, your brand essence and personality, you have your North Star and can turn your focus to the next phase, knowing your customers. Understanding your customers starts by understanding their needs, as depicted in the iconic pyramid, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where every level up represents a higher form of human need, from the basic, physiological insecurity, to more advanced, emotional, egocentric, and spiritually fulfilling. Each archetype corresponds to and fulfills different needs on the pyramid. For example, in their advertising, Apple doesn't harp on features and product comparisons. It appeals to a person's need to fit in, stand out, and feel special, satisfying higher-level needs such as belonging, ego fulfillment, and even self-actualization. By connecting your brand's essence and archetype to the corresponding levels of customer need, you can craft highly effective, emotionally compelling communications. Which brings us to the 3rd phase. According to Aristotle, there are 3 means of persuasion: logic, emotion, and image. Appeals to a person's ego and self-esteem are best made via strong image-based communications. supported secondarily by the other modes of persuasion, while products that meet one's security needs may be best communicated via emotion or logic-based appeals. Understanding which style of persuasion to lead with informs creative campaign execution. It lets us narrow our focus on a dynamic and evolving set of basic advertising templates. If we know we're using an image-based persuasion style, for example, we can execute against those templates that give us the best chance of connecting with customers. Finally, in today's highly targeted media environment, it's essential to tailor messages to the individual by pushing highly persuasive brand communications through a final filter, the traditional sales funnel. This involves executing tactics using means of persuasion and advertising templates specific to where someone is in their customer journey. Are we deploying more emotional, above-the-line tactics designed to generate awareness? Are we developing more logical, detail-rich communications to help customers learn more? Are we driving conversion with CTA-centric promotional materials? Or maybe we're helping build long-term loyalty with high-touch fulfillment and ongoing customer communications. Anyone familiar with Apple's creative marketing over the years will recognize their image-based persuasion approach across a wide range of marketing materials, from their groundbreaking broadcast spots to product development, right down to their packaging, always on brand with who they are and in touch with what their customers are seeking on a deeper emotional level. All messaging is thoughtfully modified depending on the stage of the funnel, but always guided by your North Star, your brand why, your archetype, and the understanding of how your brand satisfies a specific customer's need state. This is how to produce smart, strategic communications that are always in tune with who you are as a company or brand, in touch with your customers' core human desires and needs, persuasively relevant to their lives, and that drives both sales and long-term loyalty. So that even while your advertising campaigns may change, the essence of who you are and how you connect with people remains the same. A lot of agencies and their strategic planners like to keep their methods under lock and key. We prefer you see what's involved because we want you to be involved. If you want to work with an agency that's not afraid to show you what's behind the curtain, talk to Plan B, the agency alternative.